guys, it's Talisha and today I am doing a what I feed my 26-year-old riding pony. Now, she is retired. Her diet differs a lot obviously from Bambi's. If you have not seen Bambi's feed routine, who is my 6-year-old Hanoverian warm blood, I recommend watching that. It will be in the description below and on the screen right now. In Bambi's video in particular, I go into a lot of detail about why I feed the way I feed, and the importance of feeding less but more often. So if you want a proper full in-depth video on that, I recommend watching that first. But yes, so for those of you who don't know who Jeopardy is, who is my 26-year-old retired riding pony, or semi-retired. She is my first pony and I have had her for 6 years now. She is an amazing pony that took me from a green inexperienced rider that had done one little tiny unofficial comp to a national champion within the 5 years that we had competing together. She took me to multiple titles, from hack shows, from sporting. She had so many supreme titles in bending and barrel racing. Ultimate all-rounder pony, literally just would give everything a go and won virtually everything there was to win. There's too many titles to name for her, but the biggest one, which was what we ended her competition career on, was winning national champion at the PCA Nationals in 2019. Fun fact, Bambi and I are actually going to be competing in the exact same section in the exact same nationals this year. It is virtual, so it's going to be done a bit differently. Unfortunately, we're not going to be at proper grounds, but Jeopardy competed up until just shy of turning 26. She actually had 2 national events in her 25th year, one of which was when she won the champion. Jep, to this day, the whole time of me owning her, has never suffered from any soreness or arthritis, joint issues whatsoever. The pony is a true superstar. And she's only semi-retired now just because I bought a young horse, obviously Bambi, to take over from her, and I just wanted to end Jep while she was happy, sound, and on her A game. I still ride her from time to time. Her current job is she is a nanny for a bunch of baby racehorses. She plays babysitter for a lot, from racehorse weanlings right up until 2 to 3 year olds. She absolutely loves it, and she's really good at putting them in their place while also being a good companion for them. So that's what she's doing at the moment. She's looking amazing. The thing about Jeopardy, I know some people do struggle with older horses keeping weight on their horses. Jeopardy is not that type of pony, especially since being semi-retired. I have had to make sure that she does not get too much food because she gets big. She is an Australian riding pony, 13 hands, so ponies tend to be on the bigger side of things. But yes, so Jep's diet is a lot more simple than Bambi's. However, just like Bambi, I have 3 feeds. She gets fed 3 times a day, just like Bambi does. Jep is not stabled or anything like that, so it's not quite to the same extent. She doesn't have a hay bag all night because she's not stabled. She's on pasture 24/7. So as I said, there are 3 feeds, just like Bambi does, because it is really it's not good for horses to have big feeds in general. Honestly, if I had more time in the day, I would do more than, I'd separate the feeds in more than just the 3. This does not mean she's getting more food, it just means she is getting it evenly distributed into 3 instead of 2 or 1 set feeds. The feed that Jep has been on from when I first bought her as a 20-year-old pony is Hygain Equine Senior. I have never had her on anything else, never needed to have her on anything else. She thrives on Senior, and I think that her being on such a good quality food that is so suited to her is a true testimony to why she was able to go as far as she did at her age, and why she is still in tip-top shape with no health conditions whatsoever as a 26-year-old pony. Hygain Equine Senior Horse Feed is a palatable, non-oat, micronized sweet feed formulated for mature horses, providing the necessary digestible energy along with soluble fiber, quality protein, and balanced levels of vitamins and minerals for optimal health and vitality. Don't judge me, I still don't understand how to open the bags with the string. I know, I'm useless. So for those of you who don't know, I am sponsored by Hygain, but I only take on sponsors I wholeheartedly love and believe in. And as I said, I have been feeding Equine Senior for 6 years now, when I bought my first pony, which is Jep. And I have only been sponsored by Hygain for about 6 months now. So I think that is a true testimony to how much I love and believe in this feed and all of their feeds. Equine Senior was the one that started me on the journey of Hygain. Every single horse I've owned has always been on Hygain feeds, and I would never change. So yes, that is the completed feed that Jep gets. So the rest of her diet is fairly straightforward. As I said, she's on pasture 24/7. It is good quality pasture. I do not give her any hay either. She's a really, really, really good doer. So her feeds are tiny. I've got my trusty Hygain scoop, which tells me how much each feed weighs and chaff weighs in one scoop. So Jep actually gets a total of 250 grams of loosened chaff a day and 250 grams of oaten chaff a day. Here is a full scoop of the loosened chaff. I distribute that throughout all 3 buckets, trying to make it as even as possible. As you can see, it's not much at all, but pony doesn't need much. And I do the same with the oaten chaff. And then we are on to the senior. A lot of people think that with the ponies that are good doers or fat, that they start to really limit the feed they're giving them, meaning the completed feeds. So balanced is what Jep used to be on when we were in spring, and she was a little bit overweight. With winter and the fact that I've been able to keep her in work a little bit, she is at a better weight, which is when I put her back on Equine Senior. And I made this mistake myself actually. I did not have her on enough to meet her nutritional requirements, and the Hygain nutritionalist said, look, she needs this amount of feed for you to actually be meeting her nutritional requirements. So that's something to keep in mind when you do have the chunky ponies and you think, oh well, I'll just half the amount of completed feed they're getting, but then you're actually stripping them of some of the necessary things they need in their diet. So Jep gets 1.5 kilos of Equine Senior, which is a scoop and a half of this. So fairly straightforward, half a scoop in each bucket. And that is all the feed Jep gets. Now, as for supplements, so all she gets is salt, as salt is something necessary for your horse's diet, and she gets the TuffRock Pjf, which is to support her joints. Yes, she's not in proper work anymore and she barely gets ridden, but she is an older pony, and the fact that she doesn't have arthritis at the moment is amazing, so we want to keep it that way. So I have her on TuffRock Pjf and 30 grams of salt a day. Here is the TuffRock Pjf. And I just put 1 scoop of that in her afternoon feed. And then I just use normal table salt, and I do 30 grams in her middle feed. Then I mix them all together. So each feed, very little amounts of feed. Now to be honest, even when Jep was in full competition work, her diet didn't differ too much. She did get slightly more senior just because she was in full work, but other than that, she's always been on small amounts of food because she is such a good doer. So keep in mind, this diet is not going to be perfect for every older pony, and you should really talk to the Hygain nutritionalists. You can go to their website NutriKey and they can help you out from there. It is a free service and they will give you advice on your horse and what you should be feeding them. because it goes off a variety of factors, and I always say to people, don't just go off what your friend feeds. They may have a thoroughbred, they may have a horse that's like yours, but so many things it changes, the pasture size, how often they're out on pasture, how much pasture you have, etc, etc, and the type of work you're doing. So I really recommend talking to Hygain directly and getting your advice from there. But just for those that wanted to know, this is what I feed Jep. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like me to do any other feeding videos, let me know. If there's any Hygain products you want to see more of or want a review of, let me know. I feed Bambi a variety of Hygain things. I've also recently added another supplement to Bambi's diet, which is the Hygain All Care. So if you want to hear anything about their products, let me know and I'll help you out. So don't forget as well, if you do order any Hygain supplements, please use my code. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!